Absolutely.
And our next storyteller is someone who also knows Chicago well, from a very different neighborhood. Who's going to speak to an aspect of Chicago culture that I am less familiar with, but I'm so excited to hear his experience about it. He is a master storyteller, writer, educator. He's from the South Side. He's appeared on the Moth main stage. He has hosted the Moth many times, which, if you know, the Moth is like the the Tonight Show of storytelling shows. And he currently hosts an amazing daily news podcast about this city called CityCast Chicago. So they get the chance to stay current and do deep dives on topics. Like they talk to Abby McEnany from the Showtime show. Oh my God, I'm spacing on the name of the show, but she's a Chicago improviser, and they got to talk to her just about staying in Chicago. And that show, Work in Progress, is the name of the show. But it's a really cool podcast. He like oozes Chicago. He has a big, welcoming, buoyant energy. I'm very excited for all of you to hear Jacoby Cochran.
I appreciate y'all having me. Yes, listen to CityCast Chicago. It does come on every single day, Monday through Friday. Shout out to the Sun-Times. I actually talked to Tom Schubert earlier about big weed in Chicago and Illinois. And so the episode comes out next Monday. I had to do the plug. 15 years ago, Rich City Skate had its grand opening. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. You see, roller skating in Chicago is like a rite of passage. And for me, roller skating is in my blood. My mother's name is Sweet Tea, and she's one of the greatest roller skaters in Chicago history. And so I grew up going to roller skates across Chicago. I'm talking 76th Street, the famous roller rink on 87, even hitting the burbs like Markham, Linwood, Glenwood. Like roller skating was my passion. Roller rinks were my home. And if a roller skating rink is my home, then this is my room, right? My roller skates. But for me, Rich City Skate was my place. And I was 15 years old when they had their grand opening. And I actually worked at the skating rink. It was something I did my entire childhood because that's what you did. You did it on field trips. You did it on the weekend. For many of us, roller skating was the place where you had your first kiss, maybe your first juke jam, right? Roller skating is where your parents dropped you off for $5. That was our arcade. And so it was natural that when I became a teenager that I'd want to work there, that I gravitate there. And I remember the grand opening because we had 4 sessions on the docket. And I knew I was only scheduled to work the first 3. The 1 to 4, the 4:30 to 7:30, and the 8 to 11:30. And so when I showed up that morning, I cleaned the roller skating rink. I cleaned my skates because I knew I was about to show off. When they had got Rich City Skate, it was originally Olympic Skate World, but we had put a lot of work into it. We repainted the walls. We put up murals of famous icons like James Brown, who was the godfather of soul. That was our godfather because Chicago skating is called JB skating, if you don't know. And so on that day, I was ready to show out. I had a lot of pride in Rich City Skate. And during the first 1 to 4 session, I was working as a skate mechanic. So I would pass out skates, but I would fix people's skates. I'd tune them up, and then I'd give it to them. I'd let them skate. I didn't really expect to skate during this session. But when I heard the Payback by James Brown blasting on those brand new speakers, I saw the lights and the fog machines going on. I tied my skates up. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I went towards the floor, and it was only like 30 minutes left in the session. And right before I got on the skate floor, the manager came and put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, "Kobe, somebody took a shit in the bathroom." Yeah. So I had to take my skates off because you don't want to skate into a shitty bathroom. And I went in there with some ammonia and some bleach. I didn't realize that the combination was deadly. But when I saw it, I was like, who would do this? Who would ruin such a beautiful day with this huge pile of nonsense? And why am I the one they tapped on the shoulder to clean it up? This is some bullshit. But I did it. And by the time I was done, the time I was throwing up, the session was over and I didn't get to skate. So then the 4:30 to 7:30 comes and we finish cleaning up and we take the trash out and we reload all the snack bars and the stuff shops where we sell light up toys and candy. And the 4:30 7:30 is special because it's called a SpongeBob party. It's complete copyright ripoff, right? We got a guy dressed in a SpongeBob suit running around, but we have so many birthday parties. And so I don't really expect to skate. In fact, they asked me to come into the snack bar and to serve pizzas because we got about 6 or 7 birthday parties. And I mean, it's so beautiful to see so many Black people in one place. I don't know if you know, but roller skating rinks in America are like safe havens for Black people. And we don't have a lot of those. And so throughout my childhood, the hustlers and the families, right? The gangsters, the old ladies, the parents, the girls, the young kids, everybody was at the skating rink. And at that 4:30 to 7:30, everybody was at the skating rink. And so I was working back there slinging pizzas. And by the time I was done, the session was over. Now at this point, I only got one more opportunity, right? That 8 to 11:30, because we do have a fourth session and that runs from 12:30 to 4 in the morning. And I'm only 15, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to work that. I know I'm going home at the end of this 11:30, but the 8 to 11:30 is different, y'all, because you only get an hour and a half of skating and then you get 2 hours of the juke jam. And I'm trying to get that hour and a half of skating. But when it starts, the manager calls me into the office and says, I need you to work the ticket window. We got about 1,000 kids here tonight, and I need another person in this ticket window collecting money with me. And so I'm sitting in there anticipating that it would slow down, but everybody walking in here ain't got no skates, which means they here for the juke jam, which means I'm not going to get to stop. So I'm just taking money and I'm putting it away, and I'm taking money and I'm putting it away. And at this point, I've done everything you could do at the skating rink in one day. I've slanged pizzas, I've cleaned skates, I've cleaned the floor, I've cleaned up other people's, off the bathroom. And when I'm sitting in the ticket window and that James Brown starts playing, the big payback, dun, 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 revenge, get some pay. And I'm like, I'm not going to get to do it. And by the time I get out the office and things calm down, it's the juke jammer, so I don't get to skate. And so I take these brand new skates and I put them away. And I'm not going to lie, at this point, I'm sad. I'm hurting. I'm supposed to be showing off. I'm supposed to be letting people know what I can do. I finally got these skates. I finally feel like I know what I'm doing out there on the floor. But I pack my bag and I'm starting to walk out the door after we clean up. And my mom comes up to me. Because, my mom is there for that 12:30 to 4. But actually, she doesn't tell me she loves me and sends me home. She tells me she loves me and she tells me to stay. See, tonight from 12:30 to 4, I'm going to get to skate with the grown folks. And this ain't just any skate night, y'all. This is the grand opening of Rich City Skate, and it's their inaugural national party, which means people from all over America have come to this skating rink right outside Chicago. And I'm talking people from New York, people from Philly hitting the train, people from Detroit doing the ballroom, people from Toronto. You got people from Atlanta and Florida. And so I'm watching all these people do their moves, and we got this roll call where every state goes one after another. Every city goes one after another. And since we in Chicago, they call Chicago last. And when I get on that floor, I'm joined by my mother, who is the manager who asked me to sit in the ticket window with her. And I'm joined by my father, who's the manager, who told me to go clean up the shit off the floor. And I'm joined by my brother, who was in the SpongeBob outfit around 4:30, and my sister, who was helping me sling pizzas, and my uncle, who told me I needed to clean and wash the skates after the session. You see, because 15 years ago, my step grandparents bought Olympic Skate World, and together our family transformed it into Rich City Skate. And 15 years ago, we had our grand opening, and from 12:30 to 4, me and my family got out there and we hit big wheels and cartwheels and back tucks and splits. I know my big ass don't look like I can do a split, but I can get down there on some skates. And 15 years ago, I fell in love with roller skating and roller rinks that were more than home. They were a safe haven, not just for Black folks, but my folks, my Black folks, my family. And though Rich City Skate ain't with us no more, it's always gonna be home. Appreciate y'all for listening and listening to CityCast Chicago.